Live again. Are we live? We're live. We're live.
Super live?
We're live on the right place this time.
So live.
Yep,
And
sure
that's
is.
probably going to make a heck of well, not so.
Was it?
No, it's going to make a heck of a little blooper reel. Because I know we broadcasted to YouTube for about 30 seconds a while ago, and it was me going, oh no. Okay, well anyway, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Lindsey.
Yes, she did it good. And we're at Untitled Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee, where we are live. And I'm going to say it again, it's already dark.
Super live. Super dark. The forces of evil are upon us. Cold. I'd rather be cold. I'll say that. I would rather be cold than hot. So,
Yes.
not as angry about the cold part, but yeah, the sunshine is an issue.
Yes, because when
Alright,
it's...
real quick for all, because it is getting dark, and you see this a lot. If you get this seasonal affective disorder, seriously, just go on Amazon and get yourself one of those little light boxes. You have to sit in front of it. You can't just have it like in the corner of your office turned on. You gotta sit in front of it for like 30 minutes every morning. Like you don't have to stare at it because that'll hurt your eyes. You're reasonable people, you can figure this out. But you have to actually let the rays hit you, and that will help with your seasonal affective disorder. And you won't be as sad with your sad. And I know that because the doctor told me that, so you just got free medical advice. You didn't have to go to the doctor for that.
Okay, I have no clue what that is.
Oh, but you're fortunate then. You will see a lot of people in the next couple of months talk about how just depressed they are and how this is a hard time of the year for them. It's because...
Well, without further delay, we're here with Devan from the Tennessee D20 Girls.
I was just gonna say you might want to put a disclaimer that you are not medical professionals, just in case anybody takes that advice and go crazy or something.
Yeah. We're...
that's just what a doctor told me. So.
If we had to put a disclaimer for everything we said on here, we'd have like a 3-paragraph essay in every channel description. Okay, so I know the basics of what your group is about. So tell us, we can replug that.
He's got it.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about what the group is, because I just checked it out, and let's let everybody know what's going on here, because it seems pretty cool.
Okay, so do you want me to hold this?
You can if you want to.
Okay, so the D20 Girls, I don't know. The D20 Girls Project is a nonprofit organization that promote women in fandom and positive female geek role models. So
Everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not just games.
No, it's not just games.
Okay.
And when you say games could be board games or video games. We do all sorts of nerdy things. And there's another part of the organization that also does cosplay modeling.
Okay.
And offers, you can hire knowledgeable nerd women to work for you at cons.
Like handlers.
Yeah. So you don't end up just hiring random non-nerds, basically.
Okay.
So you can have women who are part of the fandom,
Yeah.
who kind of know what they're talking about, to kind of support the community. So like,
is that something that a guy can do, or is it just for other women?
well, our organization is geared towards women.
Okay.
I'm sure men could do it on their own,
Yeah.
but
This is like trying to ease women into like this fandom way of life.
yes, and in the case, it's not necessarily easing women into fandom, it's showing the representation of the women who are already in fandom.
Okay.
So like,
So you're talking about somebody like somebody who may be kind of antisocial,
yeah,
who is having a hard time getting out there to these events and stuff. They kind of have somebody to kind of help them along.
yes.
Okay.
I know a lot of times, I know generally nerds in general are like more antisocial, and
Yeah.
it's harder to get out there, and it's harder to meet people. And then as a woman, when you go somewhere and it's just all guys, it's kind of uncomfortable. So it gives you an opportunity to meet other people that like the things that you like.
Yeah, and it gives you an opportunity to have somebody to like kind of go away with when you run into that dude with the free hugs T-shirt.
Yeah, so you don't have to. It helps keep the creepers away.
Yeah, that kind of stuff it's a problem. Whether people, I'll take it back, I guess. It's a problem whether people want to admit it or not. There is some uncomfortable stuff there, and it might be something that you do want to kind of have somebody there with you, whereas just going it alone. I mean, I'll be honest, even me as a guy, I wouldn't want to go to a convention alone. Mm-hmm. And just for me, it's for like a totally different reason, just because I'm looking around. I like enjoying that experience with somebody. But yeah, I don't know if I could imagine, it's just me, but I don't know if I could imagine like being a female and going, especially somebody who's not really comfortable around people in the first place, and going into a massive like Wizard World type deal where you've got, 30, 40, 50,000 people crammed into a convention center over the course of a weekend. So yeah, pretty much. So that's is that like a cost thing, or is it a no cost service?
No, it works kind of like a club.
Okay.
You don't have to pay to join. The D20 Girls project. The part of the organization where you model, like cosplay modeling and stuff, that you have to go through a process, but I don't think you pay for that either.
Is that like, are you talking about modeling? You're talking about people who go to represent, or people who like do photos and stuff, or what are we talking about there?
Well, they do photo shoots of the models. We used to have a print magazine, but now we have an online magazine. But they would do cosplay modeling, and then they would do cosplays, and they like work table. Like people hire them to work tables at conventions.
Okay.
So it's more at larger conventions. Mm-hmm. They would hire women to kind of draw in people, to draw in men to come to the table. So we're trying to offer like knowledgeable, nerdy women.
Yeah.
So you're basically you're like vetting them for the potential employers to make sure they're legit.
Yeah, so you
legit
have
geek chicks,
actual geeky women working these tables at conventions instead of just some hot chick.
Is this something that how long's this been going on? Like, how long's the group been together?
2007, I think, was when. That's either when we started or when we rebranded as the D20 Girls project.
Okay. So I'm wondering, like, how I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Like local, have you been to like local conventions? Like you have a presence in Chattanooga, I'm assuming.
Yes, we go to local conventions. We go to Chattanooga, Chattacon. We have some ladies going to YamaCon in Pigeon Forge in December. We have an EtsuCon. I think we're working on Marble City Comic Con right now. And we do panels. We do panels, we host room parties, we help out in whatever way we can at conventions.
So basically anything.
Anything, yeah.
Now, I mean, we kind of handle, like at UNN, we handle this stuff kind of in-house. But let's say I've got a fandom group or something like that, and we want like a female cosplayer to stand at the table for the weekend, take pictures with people, stuff like that. That's one of the things you're talking like you offer.
Yes, in the I forget what it's called. I think they've rebranded that as well. But in the other part of our organization, they offer that.
Okay.
We have girls, we have D20 girls who are models and work as con girls.
You have any specific characters that you can think of right off the top of your head that they've done?
I don't spend a lot of time in the whole modeling section, but I know one, Harley, of course. Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you do then?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I am the Tennessee state manager. What I do in my personal time, I love video games.
Okay.
I love board games. I'm just getting into comics. Role-playing games. Going to conventions. What else do I try and incorporate? I mean, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I was going to say,
It's a busy schedule.
that's a little bit more than what I do.
So you said you're the Tennessee manager, so that would imply then that this is not just a local thing.
No, it is a national organization. The D20 Girls Project is just the name of the organization itself.
So I'm assuming you have like bylaws and stuff, or like an overall group that you do. Okay. Anything you got, Lindsay?
All right.
Lindsay's taking over.
Here we go, guys. All right, so you had mentioned that one of the purposes, besides modeling's fun, and it's great to have qualified women available to, answer questions and be a part of conversations at events. But one of the things you said was to help foster positive female role models in the community. So, modeling aside, because you said that's not your area. So in the area that you are in, how do you guys accomplish that, or what are your plans to make that more of a thing, I guess?
Like the positive female geek role
Yeah,
model?
like how do you foster that?
Well, personally, I've been trying to get us more into volunteering. Get us more into helping out around the community. We did an Extra Life fundraiser a few weeks ago. Extra Life, if you don't know, is a 24-hour gaming marathon where you raise money for the local children's hospital. We raised a little bit of money for that. We took part in a board game day at the local school, the local community college, to help raise money for the food bank and their garden. We're working on a toy drive for this Christmas to sponsor a family. And that's mostly what we have in the works right now. Working on some other stuff. I don't want to give away too much.
I love unannounced goodies.
So, with the community involvement and doing the volunteering, so I guess just the main idea there is just to get the women out there face to face with people to help, be a positive influence, and also to help balance out the all the nerd chick cliches that people tend to have.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
We're trying to set a good example not only for nerd women but other nerds in general, like by going out and being a part and representing nerd culture in our fundraisers, or doing fundraisers that are like board game days or gaming marathons and stuff like that. It's you don't have to be a part of a club of girls to kind of get out there and help. And nerds kind of have this whole there's this whole idea of they sit in basements and they sit in their mom's basement
Yeah.
and
I
don't.
haven't talked to my mom in like 2 years, so
And
it's not true. We don't all live in their basements.
yeah, and like don't contribute to society and just
Yeah.
play games and stuff, and that's not, that's not what we want to be.
Mhm.
And it kind of opens the door for other people who aren't really into nerd culture to experience it while going about their everyday life.
And that's been made like a heck of a lot easier
yeah.
over the past 10 years or so, because we've got stuff like The Big Bang Theory, then we've got all the Marvel and DC movies, and like I think we were heard something on the radio a couple of days ago that used to, we were lucky to get a comic book movie once a year, and now there's what, like 5 this year, 6. So it suddenly kind of sort of become cool to be a nerd, and you actually see almost like a culture clash of the people who have traditionally been in that group and the people who are venturing in. So I can kind of see where your group, as far as like, a lot of these women who have never seen a comic book, never done anything, but, I like the Avengers, I like, what they got going on in the new Justice League movie. Then like they come in and they want to be part of these conventions and they have absolutely no clue what's going on. Because it's a different world. It is.
And not everyone is welcoming and friendly and like, oh yes, please enjoy this thing that we have enjoyed this whole time. You get a lot of people that are like, oh, so you didn't play first edition? Well, you get out of here. Women.
Yeah, true story. Like if you come in and you say that you're a fan of Iron Man because of the Robert Downey Jr. movies,
Then,
they're going to be like,
fan of Iron Man.
yeah, you're a fan of Iron Man, but you're going to run into that roadblock where people are like,
Not everyone is that way, but it's good to have people who their mission is to be welcoming, to be good role models and community members. Now, just real quick though, back to the women tropes and geeks and stuff. You mentioned Big Bang Theory. Love that show. It's adorable and everything about it is fantastic, except for one time. They were going to play some D&D, and they had somehow talked Penny into it, and maybe it was Sheldon that was like, I've never played D&D with a girl before, and Penny was like, yeah, neither has anyone else ever. So, that's...
yeah.
They dipped their toe into the sexism just a wee bit with that, because women have been playing it, obviously, since it came out.
I'll say, like, not even
not
counting...
as much as guys, obviously, because we are typically women, for the most part, are more outwardly social creatures. Like, we do go to coffee shops together, for the most part, not all of us. But, we like to do things out, whereas guys are better at being islands, I guess. So you can...
Yeah, like I legit sat at home for 6 hours today playing Skyrim, so...
Yeah, I have to be around people, like, constantly. Constantly.
Oh, man.
I'm an energy vampire, so I'm like, I need it.
But,
I need the people.
like, hold on. I had a thought, and I was going somewhere. No.
It happens to me 3 or 4 times a show.
It was about,
I do that.
like, I didn't touch a video game. Like, I've touched The Sims when I was younger, but I didn't touch a AAA title until college. And I didn't touch Magic the Gathering cards, or I didn't play D&D until college. And everyone I knew was male. And when I would go out, like, I would go to the Friday Night Magic, and I would go to play, and they would like, scoff. Like, oh, I'm gonna beat her. And then, like, I would kick butt. Can I? Yeah, I'll just say kick butt.
Yeah.
I won't say a bad word. Or, like, my first time playing D&D, I would get really excited. And I would get... What's the word? I'm so horrible with words. I would get, they would complain about my enthusiasm. So it's like
So your energy level was through the roof.
I mean, I felt like I felt like I was hanging with the boys, but when I would say the same things that they would say,
Oh yeah.
it would
Yeah.
they would be like, that's offensive,
Yeah,
or you're
Ew.
or you've got too much energy. So, but like when I play, you know, once I started playing with other women, spending time with other women, it was just, it's more, you know, you don't have those like sexist undertones. You're not getting judged, or you're not, you know what I mean?
They're just not used to having a member of the other gender present during, I guess, what they possibly normally perceive as guy time, I guess.
Well,
So
and
it's
I think some of them don't even notice that they're doing it. Like
Yeah.
Especially in public gaming, where you're going to meet lots of different people at different times. Your groups aren't always going to be consistent. You're going to come across that guy that has no idea how offensive it is that he's decided to play a very busty blonde girl that constantly wants to flash people and is basically a hooker in the game.
That's a thing.
That's a thing that
Okay,
I have
well.
seen. And you have to be, and of course she's dumb. She's always dumb when this happens. And you're just like, why are you, first of all, how is this character even helpful? That's a terrible adventurer. But also, like, offensive. So you do run into that.
Actually, yeah, I remember that was addressed in that, there was a movie called Gamers.
I love gamers.
It was like, I think it was the second one, Darkness Rising, where they like went on
Hand of
this.
Fate, where they were playing the card games.
I don't know if they were playing a card game or not. It's been a minute. But I had my favorite part where
Yeah.
like the dude was trying to write a campaign and he couldn't.
Yeah, that's
and
Darkness Rising. In the second, or it's either the second or third one. Hands of Fate, though, it's like they're playing Magic, or a Magic type game, and it deals a lot with the female tropes, and like the girl goes in to play the card game like you did, and of course there's some basement dweller at the table that's like, show us your boobs, and
Well, that happened in the second one because the girl was like had all these unorthodox or smart ways of playing the game, and it totally threw them off.
Both of them. But yeah, the chick where they're like, why would you have a monk that does whatever? And then she goes in, she kicks butt, and she's like, yeah, see.
Either that or she like used diplomacy to talk her out of a bad situation that would have gotten them all killed.
Initiative, and she's like, pa, 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 pa. That's why. But yeah, because when she first got there, they had a character ready for her that was like, she was like, what is bikini armor? And they were like, it's armor that, she was like, no, I've made my own character, thank you very much. I read the book.
Okay, that's like one of those. I actually think it's available on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. The actual movie. That's one thing we're gonna have to watch.
I know it's on Amazon Prime.
It's
they actually
fun.
have several. Maybe not several, but there's.
What is it?
It's the game, or just Gamers. Look up Gamers, and they've got a couple of movies. They've got some. I guess they were web shows, maybe, but it's like short episodes. Oh, I think there's only like 2 episodes of this, but highly recommend to everyone. Humans and Households. It's hilarious and brilliant, and touches on some social things too. But it's great.
Good Lord, we just need to like sit down one night and be like, here, this is all of our favorite stuff. Look at it.
Oh, I just got on a tear one weekend and was like, I wonder if there are D&D movies. Oh, there's so many. And just like watched gamer movies and
Kind of like Mazes and Monsters.
Yeah. There was one that cracked me up. It was like 9 20-second episodes or something, but it was just called like, what dice do I roll again? And if you've ever taught new people how to play a game, that's this constant which dice, especially when you're playing something like Dungeons and Dragons and you just want to shake them. Like, 20.
Well, it normally
Almost always the 20.
says like in
Start
the
with
book
20.
or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like what to roll.
I mean, books and reading.
If you use okay, here's the thing. If you use an online character builder, 9 times out of 10 it will write it down for you, like 1d8 for such and such.
Yeah.
But
So,
before we even
like-
get that far, they're just like roll your acrobatics. Which dice is that? Okay.
See, I wouldn't know that.
But after like 5 times of being like, you always roll this one first.
Oh, okay.
Always.
Okay.
But I mean, it's fine.
Oh.
It really bothers her but it's okay.
I can tell. It's
Simple instructions and people. It just drives me crazy.
I guess it's like whenever I teach somebody how to play a video game and it's a first-person shooter and they're like running in circles because they don't know.
I'm usually the boys periodically will talk me into trying to play a game with them, and I'm bad at video games. It doesn't click with my head, and I always have to like reverse the way that the remote even works to even passably do anything. But it always ends with, "Mom, stop looking at your feet. Now you're looking at the ceiling. Why are you so bad at this?" And I'm like, "Here, you can play."
So in other words, you wouldn't be one of the ones to...
But I know when to stop. I'm like, yeah, this is not my thing.
You know, I put that thing out where I was looking for somebody local to like play video games with. You wouldn't be... Nope, let's just go ahead and...
If you just want to yell at me.
No, I need somebody that can legit play. Which, speaking of, it's actually good because I've got like literally about a half dozen people at least somewhat interested in that. So, yeah, we'll see.
Lonnie's totally not a murderer. You can go to his house and play video games.
Yeah, pretty much. Thanks for just throwing that out there.
You don't have to worry about the cat, though.
You can't be allergic to cats because, to me, my cats are more important than just about any person.
Well, to me, Jubilee might murder somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, Jubilee's my baby.
We really have no idea if Lonnie's a murderer.
If Jubilee kills somebody, we can't be held responsible. She's my baby. She didn't do it. Anyway, maybe on to the day's news.
News. All right. Well, in the land of D's and D's, Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
Sounds like where I want to go.
D&D. I mean, whatever floats your boat, mister. Xanathar's Guide to Everything. As of last week, you could pick it up at your favorite friendly local gaming store. And if you are buying it online, it is Tuesday is the release date for online sales. And it's pretty awesome. It's full, it's a supplementary material, a lot of new classes, spells, and the best part is there's like little blurbs from Xanathar as a beholder, and they're very cocky, so he's got like little, like where he's written notes to go with it, and he's like mocking whatever is in the section. It's cute. It's got a lot of personality.
Interesting.
It's entertaining.
Are you... Well, this is...
Am I?
Thursday, so... Anybody gonna go see Justice League this weekend?
I mean, I would love to, but I'm trying to save for a house. And then Saturday I'm running Goblin Adventures all day by Rebel Minis of Chattanooga, and I bought some of his things. We totally need to get him on here.
What about you, Devan? Justice League?
I've thought about it, and not just because it has Jason Momoa, but that doesn't hurt.
He is a healthy individual, and I appreciate his stature.
But anyways,
okay.
I want to see Wonder Woman first, and I haven't seen the Wonder Woman yet.
Okay. I haven't seen Wonder Woman either. I kind of want to see it just because I've heard it's so good, but Justice League, I've not really been excited about this since the day they announced it. And I'm kind of feeling that in the internet. Like, they wouldn't even release the Rotten Tomatoes score until like after the movie had come out. They finally released it this morning or overnight last night, and I think it's rated at like a 37 or something. And I've not really been hearing big numbers. Like, the studio is expecting it to do amazing,
It was coming out.
but a lot of people I've heard aren't too excited about it. Like Infinity Flux, they have their movie premieres and they canceled it because there weren't enough takers.
I can't do things on weeknights.
But
Need to come out.
Well, see, most of your premieres now are on Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know, they used to be like Thursday night at midnight.
Yeah.
And now they're Thursday night at like 7 p.m. is because everybody was
I'll
crowding.
tell you what, we might go Sunday if birthday boy over there twists my arm, and then I'll tell you if it was any good.
Okay, I would like to know that. Did you see Batman vs. Superman, both of you?
No.
I tried, fell asleep.
I actually...
I mean, I was also tired.
I somewhat enjoyed it.
I ended up writing, like, and I wasn't even that into the comics, but I ended up doing all this research about why Batman versus Superman as a movie was not a good idea. I wrote a whole article on it.
Oh! Do tell. What are your thoughts?
Okay, well, the biggest complaint was that Batman and Superman didn't have the history. Like, in the movie, it kind of just threw them together, and it was just like, oh, let's fight.
Yeah.
But in the comic books, they had a history that built up to this, like, climactic, let's fight, basically. And that a lot of people complained about that they didn't have the building, and they kind of just threw it together, and it was just...
I mean, that's true, kinda. It's like, whenever you have a translation from comic book to TV show, movie, whatever, there's always going to be those where they take liberties or they rush something. It's like, I was so angry that the X-Men movies put Rogue in Jubilee's place. Because everybody was expecting the newcomer, it's like in the comic book, Rogue was like an established villain before she ever went to the X-Men. Jubilee was the newcomer, and I was all expecting that, and then when Rogue ended up being in there, I was like...
His little heart went...
Oh, yeah.
And he cried for days.
It was.
Yeah.
I have like an unhealthy obsession with Jubilee. Jubilee's my cat, by the way.
He's also obsessed with the character. Don't let him on.
Yeah, I
Which
watched...
makes me a little concerned about your cat, but,
She's my baby.
I watched your little YouTube preview, and it talked about your birthday, and you'd be posting Jubilee stuff all day on your birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, so I kind of know a little.
So it didn't catch you too much by surprise.
No.
Okay, yeah. I've already got about 2/3 of it ready.
rapid.
And I've already got a featured cosplayer for the day who does awesome Jubilee. So,
He's ready.
welcome to the Jubilee Show. I'm Lonnie. Wait a minute. It's like, okay, so we're not doing a UNN live on Thanksgiving because
Well, no.
we're
Number one, you're working.
number one, I'm working. That's.
Ew.
I'm like, what I was saying is our UNN live didn't fall on
No, it
Thanksgiving.
doesn't fall on Thanksgiving, but also, I'm sorry you have to work. That's
I mean,
monstrous.
he's day shift and he'll be home. I'll have dinner ready.
I have to work Christmas this year too,
Yeah.
but I'm off the weekend before, Friday, Saturday,
I
and
mean,
Sunday.
I'm not like super religious or anything, but man, holidays, days to
Well,
not
man.
have to work.
Well,
Those
you have a
and then
state job though.
those are
Yeah,
those are
I didn't say where.
I know.
Give me that again.
sacred. In
I don't-
themselves.
I'm gonna get you on camera. Don't try.
Hey, come here, come here,
What we got? What's going on?
come here.
Is he coming on the air? Coming on the air? Come on.
Come on, it's your birthday. Come on.
Oh,
My birthday's in
Birthday.
my son
8 days.
13 today, and I'm trying to get him to just your hand, just your 13-year-old hand.
Your 13-year-old hand.
There's a 13-year-old hand.
I guess that works. That's somewhat good. Okay. Well, there was some. Oh yeah, Marvel kind of sort of revealed a new Infinity Stone in the latest issue of Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not even gonna say what happened or anything, but there's some weird stuff going on. And oh god, like I hate even bringing this up, but it's starting to leak into the comic book and comic book movie world. All of the freaking allegations flying around Hollywood right now. All the stuff.
So you mean they're using comic books to reflect?
No.
Stuff
As
that's
in,
actually happening in real life.
as in, we've got
It's mirroring reality?
people who are threatening to pull out of some movies and some comic book projects unless certain directors, writers, artists, producers are removed from the projects
You know,
because
don't
of
be
Gal
rapists,
Gadot.
and then people won't quit your
yeah,
work.
and was
That's
like the
kind of
producer or something
a
had
thing.
some allegations against him. So,
Yeah,
but
the company that was working with Universal, I think it's Universal? I don't know, but Gal Gadot was going to pull out of being Wonder Woman. She said she won't be Wonder Woman ever again unless they separate from that company.
yeah, and so
Look at that, consequences for actions. That's awesome.
yeah, I mean, very good. But and then we've also got people like what's George Taki.
George, yeah.
He is now being accused of stuff from like 1986, and like a lot of this stuff is like drunken mishaps at parties 30 years ago. So it's like nobody's safe. It's like everything's coming out, and like everybody
We'll
is.
find you out. It's kind of a thing.
No, that's cool. I'm perfectly fine.
I hadn't heard that. I mean, I've been so busy. I haven't interneted much, or
Well, it's like the who's who.
I just assume everyone in Hollywood is
Yes,
done
that's
something at this point.
that's what I'm doing at this point. And it's weird because the only thing I'm worried about is now we're getting into the point where stuff's coming up from like 30, 40 years ago. What's to stop somebody who just doesn't like somebody from popping up and saying, oh,
I mean, there's gonna be those people.
yeah, I know, but
What?
it's bad because the real predators are going to get lost in that nonsense. So it's, ugh. But yeah, I mean, this stuff, nobody's safe. It's filtering into the comic book world and the comic book movies, and I mean, it's whenever it starts popping up on like comicbookresources.com, I'm like, holy crap, it's really a problem. But I mean, crap. There's another news story I was thinking about. We've already covered Justice League.
Yeah. Punisher came out on Netflix today, didn't it?
No, it comes out at like
Tomorrow?
3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know. I mean, I
And
love the Punisher, but you know, it's got that guy from that show you like.
yeah, John Bernthal from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and
He was also
fellow DMer Deborah Ann Wall is on it.
she's a DM.
Oh, she loves Dungeons and Dragons. She's written stories. She has a podcast. She runs her own games. She's been on Force Grey on D&D's Twitch channel.
Which,
Yeah.
final episode of season 2 of Force Grade Lost City of Omu is the 18th.
Ooh. So
Was
popcorn
it?
party. The
Live
final
show in New York.
final episode of season 2, Force Grey, Tomb of Annihilation is November 18th
Okay.
on Twitch.
And probably the last
It's got
story
other
that
famous people in it too.
5 minutes.
probably the last story that we covered that I want to absolutely just laugh about. The most ludicrous story that we could possibly cover, I want to close out with. They just announced today that Fox has decided that they're going to make a multiple man movie with James Franco as the lead.
Oh.
Now here's the thing, like it's almost like Fox.
Sad.
Fox is you know who Multiple Man is? You know who Multiple Man is? Multiple Man is like basically he's a dude who has no other powers, but when he gets punched, hit, whatever, he splits into another person. And he gets hit enough, he could split into 3,000 of himself. And there's been
around
some
do
pretty
things.
neat stories featuring him. Like one time he got killed, and another one of his clones, I guess, became him, or I don't know. But it's almost like Fox is taking Marvel's, like a page out of Marvel's playbook. I put this on our Twitter today, where they are taking a lot of characters that there's been absolutely zero fanfare over. They've not been able to hold their own title, you know. They're strictly team players. They're not good on their own. And say, hey, let's make a movie out of this. It was like, you know, like there's a lot of titles that Marvel is putting out right now that I tried to give a chance. Iceman. I've always thought Cable was better in a team book. Like Storm, she's had a few chances.
Well, it just goes to show you, even superheroes, better when they work together.
Yes.
Message.
I mean, you do, and I mean, I hate it, but, you know, they even put out a Jubilee book at one point. It was like a handful of issues long, and as big a fan as I am, it didn't work because Jubilee works better as a team player or somebody's sidekick. Like the stuff with her and Wolverine was like magic. But yeah, it's almost like in the rush to create the next big superhero franchise, they're pulling a lot of characters who absolutely have no business being by themselves in a movie. And it'll probably end up being like a team movie anyway, like Deadpool. You know, Deadpool was a good solo movie, but at the same time, there was a great supporting cast with Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, all of his little colorful people that were around everywhere. It was a good team movie for like the second half. So anyway, that's off my soapbox.
This may be like way off base, but
Shoot.
The Tick.
Love The Tick.
Wasn't that wasn't everyone like, that's gonna be like a big joke, and then it ended up.
No, it started out as a joke. I mean, like that. The Tick is a joke, but it's a good joke. It's fun.
But then the movie came like, or
well, not the TV show and the comic book.
Show. Yeah, isn't that like, people love it now? I mean, maybe James Franco is.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it could pull it off. It could end up being amazing. Like Orville totally was not what I thought it was going to be, and it's amazing, and I love it. Now I feel it. I still don't think it's going to last past 2 seasons, but if it does, awesome.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I thought it was.
We do weekly reviews on our channel.
Total slapstick, and it is brilliant.
It's got good, decent plot.
It really does.
I care about the characters.
So if Multiple Man with crazy James Franco ends up being surprisingly good, well, I'm all for that. But yeah, I mean, my initial response is just like, it's going to be a weird hot mess.
Well, I think it's funny that they're rushing this Multiple Man movie out with James Franco, but Gambit with Channing Tatum has been in development hell for like 2 years, and they can't seem to make the movie.
Because
it was supposed to come out.
Cast him is probably they're hoping he'll get old and die before they have to do it. I mean, he's already like borderline too old.
Really? How old's Channing Tatum? Anybody got that number?
I don't know, but he's not.
I'm just
Gambit.
thinking in maybe early 30s.
He's not Gambit.
But I always thought that Gambit should be in his early 20s, you know, early 20, Cajun ladies man, that type of thing.
He's been playing early 20s for the past like 10 years.
Yeah. And like his face structure is wrong, his body build is wrong. Like,
the dude who played Gambit in the Wolverine Origins movie should be Gambit in this movie.
I didn't.
It was decent.
I don't think I saw it.
Look, it
was okay.
People hated it. I thought a lot better of that movie than they did. I thought it was very good. Take away the Deadpool part, and it was probably movie of the year to me. Except for Avatar. I loved Avatar that year.
He also likes episodes 1 through 3 and has never seen The Princess Bride. So, you know, take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Holy crap, that was just a 1-2 punch.
Woo!
Well, show's over.
I'm just trying to, like, give her a quick temperature reading. Like, that should answer a lot of questions for her.
I think the prequels were amazing until the internet got a hold of them. I think if you showed the prequels to anybody without any internet exposure, that they would say they were good movies.
My biggest beef with the prequels is if you were completely new to the whole situation and you watch them chronologically, it's no longer a surprise that Vader is Luke's father. Thanks.
That's why you're supposed to watch.
Thanks.
You're supposed to watch.
I'm saying, if you don't know and you're like, oh, movies 1 through 6, this is how this goes. Yeah.
Okay,
Way to
that's
go,
a very
writers.
slim chance that they're actually gonna stumble upon it and not know how to watch it.
Just saying.
It happens.
That's
I know
very
people
slim.
right now who have never seen Star Wars.
Other
I have
places? I do know a lot of people actually
Don't
that
really
have
drop the
never.
microphone.
I'm not.
You might drop
That's
it.
why I was like holding on to the.
Yeah, I work with
It's on
several
my to-do
people.
list.
That's a news flash. Like breaking news down at the bottom of the screen
I know.
pops up.
Worst nerd girl ever has never seen Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
I don't own them, so I own 4, 5, and 6 on VHS.
Well, luckily, being a geeky nerd, whatever term you want to use, encompasses a lot of different things.
Yes.
So you don't have to have watched Star Wars.
You know.
Like, I have only seen a handful of anime, and
Yeah, same here. That's
I
not
don't
my thing.
cosplay. I mean,
Hey, but
I'd
that's
be cool,
totally different. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know.
I'm just kidding.
Look, listen. Being different is awesome and cool, but only if you're different is exactly like my different.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you're weird and you should go live in your mom's basement.
All right.
Isn't that how it...
Alright.
That's
Well-
the
We had
sarcasm.
a couple of people in the chat.
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
people in the chat.
They didn't ask questions. They were just like, hey. But Dorsey was in the chat, Time Rifter, and Goku. They were all in the chat.
Why? Now, I want to ask if Time Rifter's still in the chat. Why is it that I can stream video games for 17 hours a day? He never shows up, but the minute we do a UNN live,
He's always on UNN Live.
he is here
Every time.
Thursdays.
It must be his schedule. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he likes
But
your co-host.
we'll
Maybe he thinks I do a good job.
He may.
Might be a thing.
Yeah.
Lindsay has some followers.
You're going to end up having a following like single Sarah does.
Oh, good God.
Bring it.
All right.
Instagram,
But
Dungeon
Goku
Monster.
enjoyed the sexual harassment conversation.
Oh,
Chimed in right in that he was like, hello, this is a good conversation.
We're,
I love how much it blows your mind that it's so prevalent. You're always like, I'm amazed that it's everywhere.
it doesn't bother me. I think what got me, it doesn't strike me as being surprised. Like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But what gets me is there's been a couple of people who, I mean, you know, like the whole Kevin Spacey thing. Okay, I can see that. This person, that person, that person, that person, I can see it. But then you've got like 2 or 3 people who are in movies that I watch that I'm like, oh, holy crap, I never in a million years would have thought. And so it's,
But that's how people are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't really know.
there's studies and statistics that are boring, and we're not going to do them. Just be good. Don't.
well, it's
people
kind of
that
like,
don't want to be touched and don't.
No means no.
I mean, it can happen because, you know, all the people that, it's kind of, you know, weird, like you're working at like an office job or something, and an employee gets arrested or dragged off property by the police for stealing property or something, and you're like, I never in a million years would have thought that person would have done that. Or, you know, your community leaders who get tied up in something, and everybody's like, oh, I never in a million years thought that, you know. It seems to be a thing that is very common lately.
I
Like,
mean-
everybody's evil.
Right?
So-
Well, it's human nature to have different faces for different situations, and yeah, there's a lot of us that are very duplicitous and do bad things, and kind of get a thrill out of having people think that you're not bad, and so they can, you know, live that fine line until
Yeah, I had $1 for every time I saw that
real
personally.
secrets, I guess.
All right.
I'm no psychologist, but I talk a lot, so I have opinions.
Okay. Well, we do need to go ahead and
Informed
end.
or not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tomorrow night, speaking of the Orville, tomorrow night, me and Amber will be doing a live Orville review around 9 o'clock. I don't know what we're doing Saturday, but it's going to be something.
You can drop by. I'm doing the Goblin Adventures all day, and it's gonna
I'm
be
work-
It's gonna be short things. It's
I'm working all
great.
weekend.
I don't know what we're doing Saturday.
Saturday?
Invite you to this thing. Oh no, I'm working.
Yeah,
That's
we're going to Noah's.
Nah,
We're gonna watch
I
Christmas
have a
Parade.
thing.
Oh,
totally gonna be sick on Saturday.
well, if Amber and Sarah go off somewhere, I have to work the next morning, so I'm going to sit around and play video games on the YouTube channel all
Or
Saturday.
You could just join us right down the road because Noah doesn't live that far.
Probably not.
Probably not be a thing.
Sunday night.
Sunday.
Night we'll be doing The Spoiling Dead, which is our Walking Dead live recap right after Walking Dead goes off. Then all day, I've actually got somebody lined up either Monday or Tuesday to come live stream video games with me during the day. It'll be really early, like we're like 9 to noon or something. But yeah, we got something lined up pretty much every day. So anyway, Devan, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me.
Make sure you keep us updated on like your community stuff. Maybe we can pop by or
Okay.
help.
Yes,
spread
because
word.
y'all have the exact same goals that we do. You know, so.
And this is network, so we network.
Yep.
We do that.
So remember all that neat stuff we have coming on. Thanks to Devan for coming on with the Tennessee D20 Girls. And I'm going to go buy my comic books because they've been sitting over there in that pull box for like a month and a half. So
Buy mine tomorrow. Get it
anything?
by.
Everybody good? Everybody
We're
good?
good.
Everybody ready
Good.
to say bye? All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. And you'll see Untitled Nerd Network live tomorrow night with the Orville review. This has been Lonnie.
And Lindsay.
and Devan from the Tennessee D20 Girls, and we are Untitled Nerd Network. Thank you for watching.